enter today. All right, well, now we're going to go visit Tom over at the Resource Center where he joins us from live this afternoon. Tom, what do we need to know about disability benefits?
Well, you know, you're asking the wrong person, but the right person is right over there. Your disability rep, Roy Rickster. Good to see you, Roy.
Likewise, Tom.
Again. Okay, we made it very seasonal here.
Yeah.
Let's talk turkey about disability benefits.
Yeah, we're going with the fall theme today, so sorry for the puns ahead of time.
That's all right, I like them.
So when we do think of the fall, there's a couple things here in relation to Social Security. One, nobody falls into an approval. That's the first thing. A lot of people think that their records are kind of like the old Prego commercial. Everything they need is in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's not really the case.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times records are devoid of several things. So a well-prepared claim that's going to be approved is going to be a couple things. One is well organized.
Right.
And so, you know, all of the medical records need to line up. Your doctor's reports need to be similar. A lot of continuity of care. Everything's got to look nice and tidy for Social Security. Have to be consistent and have to be thorough. So the questions that don't get answered by our doctors are things that then haunt our claims. And so we want to make sure that when we talk to the doctor, we're as thorough as we can be.
Right.
So in turn, they can be as thorough as they can be in making our recordings.
That last one seems like a big one too.
It does, it does. So the medical records, Social Security want to see that you're out of options. And so if you leave things on the table like referrals to pain management or referrals to surgery or orthopedic consultations, or maybe you're seeing a psychiatrist, they recommend counseling and you don't go, all of those things that are kind of left on the table lead Social Security to question whether or not you're truly out of options or if you're just ready to give up.
It sounds like a thing of being cooperative.
It is.
You know, cooperate with the needs of the people who are kind of in charge of this stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, they have to sort out people that are filing for disability as a first resort from those that are filing as a last resort. And these are things you can do to make your claim stand out as filing as a last resort.
Okay. All right.
So I'm still salty about the time change. So this slide's a little bit old, but the time has changed. And there's a couple things here in regards to your records. You don't want to let your records go stagnant.
Okay.
You want to keep pushing your issue. You should be the biggest advocate for you getting the care you need, for getting the treatment that you want, and for getting better, right?
Okay, so this isn't a time to, well, I put my claim, yeah, I can wait, I'm all right. They're obviously working on it. Not necessarily so.
All right, we want to prosecute our claim as well, but more so in regards to our medical records. We don't want to just sit back and say, look, I've got these things. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm done. I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not going to try any longer. You want to keep pushing the issue to try to get the help that you need.
Okay. All right.
So keep looking for answers, right? If the doctor's not referring you out to specialists to be looked at, or you're not having those conversations, you need to ask. Proactively ask to be sent to somebody else, to be sent to the specialist, to get that test, to get that diagnostic procedure.
Right.
Push the issue, constantly strive to get better.
You have to be your own advocate.
You do, you do.
Okay.
And sometimes this requires us to do some research. Thank goodness for Google, that you can find out about anything, about any condition that's out there, but look at it yourself. A lot of people accept the answers that our doctors give us. Sometimes they're not right, and their claims is kind of bogged down in the mud to their own detriment.
And this isn't trying to self-diagnose or anything.
Oh, no.
It's to be able to speak with your physician about, I've read that you need to get all these answers.
Well, right, and honestly, if you're diagnosed with something that's horrible or it is limiting you to the extent that you're filing for disability,
right.
You would think you'd be curious about what that looks like, what the prognosis is, what the treatment options are. Make sure that those things jive with what your doctor is doing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, stop your turkey, not your claim.
That's right, that's right. Single biggest advice that I can give somebody, you have to be very thorough, but also straightforward and honest with the Social Security Administration. Yeah. And I see this from time to time. People will exaggerate about their health, exaggerate about their work history, or they'll not be honest about the wages that they're earning currently. I'll tell you, Social Security finds out a lot of these things. This program is enormous. Lots of things get considered. People can't keep this story straight. The easiest way is just be honest up front. Call a representative and we'll see what we can do to work around any problems there are in the file. But it all has to be in front of Social Security, or else they get leery and the path gets harder.
I was going to say, you know, the lying and stuff like that. You may think you're clever, but there have been thousands who also thought the same thing ahead of you.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
all right.
Last thing, you got to prepare for the lean times. When you file for Social Security, likely there's not going to be a lot of income. You need to take a look at your bills. Part of that, thinking of the Resource Center, give them a call here. Let them shop your auto insurance, your homeowner's insurance. We also do Medicare for folks that are needing Medicare help down the road as well. But look into those resources and see if we can get those things fixed. Talk to a representative. Try to speed this thing up.
There it is.
See what we can do to help.
There's your QR code, 812-6698. You'll be able to talk to Roy. He answers the phone here.
Yeah, direct to my desk.
I appreciate it, Roy. Always good talking with you.
Likewise.
All right.
Take care, guys.
So there you are. All the tips you can want right there. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Tom. Coming up.